listening to Final Frontier News.
Yeah. That's some 90s stuff right there.
From the furthest reaches of the universe
Thanks, Dave Rose.
to the innermost depths of the mind, this is Final Frontier News.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Final Frontier News. It's back. It's back, and we're here with, we got Scott McKinnon, who's turning into a lizard right now as we speak. Dude's becoming... Hey, Jesse's camera started working. That's good news, too. We got Mars Mirror from Mars Mirror on YouTube. Good show. Are you just calling it Mars Mirror? You got like Mars Mirror Productions or something like that?
It's just Mars Mirror right now.
Okay. He's doing... I'm telling you, man, get into that adult stuff. No. But we're talking about... This has been every day the news story has changed on this. I don't know if I've ever seen recently a story change so much. Like, have you noticed this? It's almost like they're trying... And I'm not saying it's a conspiracy yet, but it's weird. It's almost like they keep trying to change the story. Like search warrants debunk theories that Mexico Solar Observatory closure happened. People were kicked out of their homes. People were forced to leave. First it was something about China, and then it was about hacking, and now it's about child porn. And then it was also had been about something else before, and I don't remember what that one was, but... There's been so many different story changes to this. It's almost like, what can we do that's the best cover-up? I'm not saying it is, but it's weird.
Yeah, Joe, so they've ran the gauntlet on this, man. I mean, like you said, it's been from China. This now it's a porn thing. They've said it's about, I don't know. I've heard about 9 different things already, and so who knows at this point, man? It really is hard to tell.
It's weird that they keep changing it.
I mean, Joe, you heard about some child porn shit. I didn't hear that theory about any child porn.
Well, so this has just come out today because, we had heard like a couple different excuses that were vague, and so the conspiracy stuff was out the window, was just off the chart, rather. But now they're saying the search warrant debunks theories about what was going on there, and the FBI says the search was caused by child porn. That's from USA Today today.
Oh, my God. You know what this sounds like already? The fucking Paddock case in Vegas shooting, because that's what he was blamed for, child pornography on his computer. Already it's starting to fucking reek of that kind of same FBI cover-up, because they gave him the same fucking dose of that shit, dude. They said that he had child pornography on his computer. He was part of Bohemian Grove. He has a house out by Bohemian Grove. So he was a patsy because they had dirt on him. So already it sounds like the exact same FBI group that's trying to cover this up. And ironically, it seems like it's almost in the same area. I mean, Nevada, New Mexico, they're pretty damn close. A lot of missile ranges out there. The White Sand Missile Range is right by Sun Spot, Arizona. You got missile ranges all over Nevada. Mars, you're from there. You know that damn well.
Well, plus he had been military, too. So that, right? Or something like that? He had been working...
Yep.
Or NASA or something like that guy? That's weird.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man. It's like, what could they possibly be hiding? I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out, man. And I can't. Every time I think about the sun, it's like, well, dude, if it was something on the sun or spaceships, getting plasma from the sun or whatever the hell they said, dude, they would have closed down every solar observatory, not just one. You know what I'm saying? So I just
on that note, Murs, they did black out Soho cams worldwide, man, from Australia, London, all them web cameras that study the sun, that watch the sun, these space cams, they were all blacked out at the same time when this went on worldwide, dude.
Yeah, but they could have been down for maintenance. They could have been down for a number of reasons.
Exactly. Just why NASA on their website, if you looked it up the day I did, and I showed you this, they fucking also said that they were doing some code infrastructure in regards to Soho and study of the sun on their website, and this still ain't back up, and it's down for several more weeks on the NASA website. Imagery of the sun, the Soho Observatory that NASA has, is still down, and they said they're doing code infrastructure. What the fuck is that shit, dude?
Code infrastructure.
I got no idea.
Yeah, we don't know.
I have no idea what that is.
It could be...
Me neither. Of course, we're not going to know. They don't want us to know. That's the whole point of this. They don't want us to know what's going on. And we were all expecting a cover-up story, and I believe that we got it.
It's definitely a good idea to bring up child porn, because that'll make people go, oh, gross, what an asshole, or like, whatever. Go for it. Do whatever you got to do. You know, it
It'll keep
always.
Stacy in the chat. And sorry, what's that?
What was that? Oh yeah, God.
No, nothing. I just coughed. That's all. Sorry.
Oh man, man, I'll tell you what. If this wasn't Final Frontier, I'd get into that a little bit, and I probably will tomorrow. But not.
No, I just coughed. I didn't.
Not too much though. But yeah, man, it's really weird. But yeah, let's talk about sunspots too, because and let's talk about people being evacuated from their homes. Like, isn't that weird? Did you guys read anything more about that? It's like weird. Like, why are you? Like, why would local people be evacuated from their homes because there was some kind of porn at the observatory or in the computer system or like whatever was going on?
Well, from what I understand, it was just one residential home. Now
Okay.
that was there. I could be wrong, but that was what I read. That was the last thing I read about a residential home, just one.
You are
I don't know
wrong
if there's
because there was every home on that place was evacuated, and there is a video proving it as these two men walk around the entire area and show each and every one of the homes that were evacuated with notices on the door. There's video of it. There's video proof. Not just one. All homes were evacuated. And I'm talking to some of these people on Facebook as we speak. I am. And they're all in the area. And they're telling me that they're still suspicious about the whole situation.
So all their homes. So all their homes
Yeah.
got evacuated, and the FBI went through all their homes.
I don't know if
That's
the
what I'm
FBI
talking
went through their homes. I'm just saying every home was told to evacuate. Every single home on that area in Aura, New Mexico, man. They were all told to evacuate, and they all did. And there's videos of people going out there, exploring these homes, exploring the base where the Sun Spot Observatory is, everything, and everything's evacuated, dude. Now, I mean, there's notices on the door that say weird stuff like, that there's a leak or whatever. Like both post offices were closed due to flooding. Okay, I can see one post office might have flooded out, but what are the chances that the other post office across town flooded out as well, and that's why the post offices were closed? It reminds me, and weirdly enough, it's 130 miles away from the Roswell crash in New Mexico there, but I find it really weird that two post offices could be flooded out at the same time. Like, really? Come on. I mean, these post offices are quite a distance away from each other. It's just, it doesn't add up, man. The only reason I can see them closing post offices is that so no information that might have been stolen from the Sun Spot Observatory could get in or out. Nothing could get in or out. When we evacuated from the fires where we're from, the same thing happened. They closed the post offices. Nothing in or out. Like, it was a big state of emergency. It was the biggest Canadian disaster in history. I went through that here, only 2 years ago. And the same thing happened. When these big events happen, that's what happens. But what the fuck?
Can I also bring up something bizarre from a week ago that a lot of people caught this? A few people internationally caught this, and a few people locally caught this. They're claiming that there was two objects or something that were found on the 9th, September 9th. Two objects eclipsed the sun, and it's a satellite image and other things, video images.
The moon.
Yep. Did hear about that.
Because SDO is flying below the Earth, depending on your perspective, and sometimes the moon gets in the way. And I get that, and I've seen it many, many, many times. However, what happens the next day? Let me show you this. And I have this live from the NASA site right now. Check out what's going on SDO. And both of these, both 193 angstroms and 171 angstroms, both saw an anomaly. Watch it now, really close. See, it goes that way, and then it comes back the other way.
Exactly.
Dude, what the fuck is that?
That's not the moon, bro.
Yeah, it's hard to say what that is. I mean,
well, you saw that girl on Facebook, everybody. Did you not see the girl on Facebook?
That should not happen.
What was on Facebook?
Well, the girl that exposed all of that, what it was on Facebook, she took the picture and clearly showed a saucer-shaped object that was almost as big as the sun.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And I know you did, Mars. Sucking plasma off the sun. I know that these extraterrestrials are out there. I know this, man, with all my heart. They suck plasma off the sun. They do it in other galaxies and other solar systems, universal-wide. This is how they gain their energy. Hence, traveling at light speed, getting light as energy to travel at light speed, getting light from suns in the universe, in the galaxy. I believe that these extraterrestrials are out there, that this is their means of travel. And I know that Mars wouldn't like try to debunk that theory. I know he believes in that. I know that he just believes that this might not be the case in this situation. I'm open for interpretation on it. I mean,
yeah, I'm wondering what it could be. I mean, it's just weird. It's just weird with the timing of like things going on with telescopes, things going down, files go missing all of a sudden, and then this is here. And you ask yourself, why does NASA and other places continue to monitor things like this and make it public if these things could go on? And I don't really know the answer to that.
I don't either. I mean, what we do know is that our sun is going through changes. Our sun is going through some changes right now. We're in a solar minimum. Our sun is not active very much right now. Our sun is at a low point of activity. The corona is shrinking, and it's a problem. It's a problem.
Oh, because like people still say that the sun won't burn out for like 50 billion years or something. Like what the hell's the what are they worried about now? Because it is weird.
Our sun's pretty old right now, dude. It
is pretty old. I think it's way older than we think too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
God, imagine that, dude. Imagine, dude, if we lost the sun, it would be over. Unless we were able to, go somewhere. That's it.
It's one of two things. If the sun dies, we die. But if the sun mass ejects a coronal mass injection, we're done as well. And I know on that day, like Mars, you know this, that day, as far as solar flares went, there was a G2 solar flare, which ain't that big, but on that day there was a G2. But they also showed that there was a portal, like a hole opening up in the sun. Whether that was a G2 mass coronal injection or not, I doubt that, because this hole was huge, dude. You saw it. It looked like a vortex, man, in the sun that day,
Yeah, and we're the Earth is at a crazy time too, man, because without all this solar activity, the solar activity is what keeps our magnetosphere strong. That's what keeps our shield strong. Is all the solar activity, all these solar flares hit the planet. Well, that's keeps our shield strong. But now, since the sun is in a minimum, we're not getting all this solar activity constantly pelting constantly pelting Earth and keeping our shield strong. So what it's done is now our shields are weak. Now our shields are very weak. So all it takes is half the flare that it normally would, and the grid can go down. A lot of things can happen. It's a big fucking deal.
As far as our shields being weak, like the magnetosphere, the ionosphere, the stratosphere, that protects us from the sun's radiation, I've been reading for years, ever since Al Gore and this global warming thing, that, pollution is starting to cut a hole in our
that's all bullshit. Global warming is bullshit, man.
I agree with you, man. I don't think that none of our shields are weaker.
It's all about the sun and our sun cycles. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I was getting.
Civilizations have risen and fallen on sun cycles and solar minimums. And that's the truth. Right. Rome fell on a solar minimum.
From the Aztecs and Mayans, man, we've seen it.
That's another thing, Scotty. That's another thing you just said. That was a good point. That whole doomsday thing, that the whole Mayan calendar, they weren't predicting the end of the world. What they did, they were predicting the beginning of the solar minimum, and they were exactly right. They were exactly right.
100%, bro. Attaboy.
The new beginning. Where's Jesse on the new beginning, man? Yeah. Jesse's like, what are we talking about? You should be coming in and telling us about Mars being in retrograde or something right now.
Jesse's in the middle of a meditation session right now, bro. He got the wind chimes. Can you hear them? Ting, 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 ting. Welcome to Jesse J.
Let's see what this guy says.
Welcome to Jesse J in the morning.
Could you imagine how scary that would be, dude? Our sun starts, consuming helium and starts becoming a red giant, dude. I would shit my fucking pants, dude.
Yeah, we wouldn't believe that we're seeing that now, because they always it's thousands of years away from millions, billions of years from happening. It's like, how do you know that? We don't know that. I don't think. Maybe I would guess. I would guess 1 million. I would hope, but I could see 100,000. 10,000 would be really scary.
It's just like Yellowstone or the Long Valley Caldera. They don't know when these things are going to explode. They don't know when there's going to be an eruption.
Yeah, what if some solar weather brings in some kind of fucking gas or something, or like a giant meteor with some kind of whatever hits the... you don't know what the hell's going to happen, or when something's going to burn out, or when the Earth's going to tilt and But the biggest risk is the solar flares. Like that is the biggest risk. That is like you said, the grid going down is got to be the real threat. Because if the grid goes down, and it's a bad one, and we can't get shit up within 8 months to a year, like that's when you're talking about nuclear power plant meltdowns.
I recall you talking about this recently, Joe.
Yeah.
And I think you believe that it was in the 1800s, but the actual last one that affected the world worldwide was in the 1940s, bro. It was a mass coronal ejection, and it knocked out all the shit. It was during the World War, I believe, bro.
That's crazy. See, if we get one of those,
it knocked out everything.
Yeah, forget it if we get one of those, man. Like that's just nuts.
And that was when our shields were.
We would die, dude. You know that.
Well, we would be it would be just chaos. It would be just chaos. Let's look at that UFO thing,
Sunday.
whatever is sucking something from the sun. This is also what they've caught. But here's the thing, right? You have that video image that we just showed from the 9th.
Right.
But, dude, if you match up the circular look of that thing that was in front of the lens from the 9th, and then you go back to this from 2012.
Right.
I mean, does that not look like some kind of circular object?
It's the same thing. It's just a little bit smaller. That's all. The ones that were recently discovered are massive motherships. This is just a mini ship from a mothership right here. Serious. And I know that's big, man. That's like the size of Earth, that fucking thing right there.
Here's another question. Could this be, and I know this is really getting out there, but maybe, what if it was a being? What if it wasn't like a ship that's storing energy? What if it's a fucking living thing in space?
Exactly, bro. I believe that these ships are living organisms. In my opinion, the ships themselves are living organisms. It's all living.
Yeah, that's what I would think, yeah. I don't think that's out there, actually, Joe. I think that's closer to reality.
Right. Well, it reminds me of, remember I don't know if you saw it, but in Star Trek Next Generation, the first episode, you know, those like jellyfish aliens or whatever at the if anybody sees that. Like that's what it, reminds me of. Why aren't there why aren't there organisms that could be living in space? Like, because there are.
Exactly. Space is a vacuum, but space is also very similar to our oceans. And we got creatures like this. Plasmic jellyfish type of things out there, dude. You're exactly right.
That's well, like true. The universe itself is completely a living thing in its entirety. Right. Every bit of stardust is. So it's like, yeah. Anything that's created out of that is a living entity. But all from one source. Like it's not, nothing is separate. Like ETs are not separate from, nothing's separate.
Like this is a real image, man.
We're all star children, man. We're all mixed together with Project.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that picture's real interesting, man. And looking at it, it's like, what the hell is that?
It's like the cover of a fucking album or something.
Yeah, I can see that being a Pink Floyd album for sure, bro.
Yeah, like look at it when you contrast it. There's clearly something coming out of it. Like you can see something immensely bright or powerful is coming out of it. And it's dark.
The dick of the sun.
What's weird is it's dark. Everything funneling from it is dark. As if this piece is a piece going into... It's like it's fucking the sun, dude. This thing is banging the sun. Like,
funny enough, dude, like I'm not even joking. Like, that's kind of what all of this is.
Yeah.
Is every time something is... like, a star is born, like, every time there's a collision, like they talk about the Big Bang, right? Like, that's basically a huge orgasm.
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny.
Like, you're not that far from it at all. Like, it's funny. That's what all this shit is.
It's true.
That Big Bang all the time.
Yeah, it's Big Bang all the time. I mean, dude, you could.
It's all like it's momentum and energy building and building until there's a peak and something comes out of that.
You could create so much. You could create so many different storylines from this. I mean, you could say that it's an organism collecting the sun's energy. You could say it's aliens collecting the sun energy for their space travel. You could say it's aliens maybe fixing our sun. You could say it's aliens trying to blow up our sun to kill us. There's all kinds of different things, but that doesn't make any sense because you could just drop a pathogen that would take us all out. So it doesn't seem like it's anything but them trying to get energy somehow, and why, and like, what is it? And it's something, dude, because we're seeing so many different clarifications of this now. So many different ones. We've seen back in the early 90s, NASA blanked out certain images on the sun, and they wondered why. Why did they blank out those images on the sun? And, now recently, we're seeing these huge, round, giant things that are flying around in front of our telescopes like we just saw a few minutes ago, and now we have the images of some kind of big round thing literally sucking from the sun. So something is going on. Like it's crazy to people, but just something's up. I mean, this is a huge thing. That's the sun. That is a massive object right there.
Like me and Mars were saying, ever since the Aztecs and the Mayans and this whole 2012 doomsday conspiracy, it was an awakening. It was the beginning of a new age, man. It wasn't about the end, and this is why we're going through this now. We were
exactly,
ready for it,
Scott. That's good shit. Yeah, there's never really an end. There's just more beginnings happening.
Exactly.
I mean,
people like Homo sapiens, they misinterpret things a lot.
Yeah.
They do, man, and they think that, this is the end, but they're not reading into the depths of it. Hence why the Bible, the Holy Bible itself, got miscommunicated throughout the ages.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that shit, but it gets looked at in a misconception, yeah.
Well, the language that Jesus spoke was Aramaic, and there's only 100 people in the world left alive today that can even speak it. And I think there was only one tattoo artist when I wanted to get Aramaic under my tattoo here, the Eye of Horus. This is the Eye of Horus, the Egyptian god of light, and I wanted Aramaic. I wanted the language of Jesus under that, saying luck. But I couldn't get that because there was only one guy left alive in this world, and he's dead now. But this is back when I was like 15. He was the only guy left in the world that could actually tattoo the Aramaic language that Jesus spoke. Other than that, it advanced to Arabic, and then Hebrew after Arabic. It was Arabic and then Hebrew. So the best I could settle for was the Hebrew for luck. Now, the language that Jesus spoke, man, this is from the master senders, man, the ones that evolved into the fifth dimension. These are like people that are your Jesua and your Muhammad's, okay? They're ascended masters, man, is what they are. I know this. I might be getting a little too much down the rabbit hole there. You know, this is kind of what Lucky Lowe wanted to, I think, get into, but never got that chance. But I know light workers worldwide, man. My buddy's mother is one of them, and she talks to Pleiadians from the Pleiadians, okay? She talks to them. I've seen them in her goddamn house, bro, and I'm not crazy, man. She showed me the pictures.
Mars thinks you are.
Okay. I'm just going to stop because...
No, go in. It's interesting for the people that... No, go into it, man. It's real quick.
Okay, well, listen. My buddy's mother, she had MS. She had multiple sclerosis, a life-threatening disease. I've known many people that died from it. One of my friends got it. But I'll tell you something about MS. For some reason, it gives you some kind of weird boost in your humanity and an inspiration for hope to live. Because my buddy Tony that got it, I mean, he lost the most weight in his life. He got ripped. He started working out again when he found out he had MS. Josh Harding of the Minnesota Wild was a goaltender that year. Remember when he got really good? It was when he found out he had MS. When my buddy's mother was told she had MS, we were 14, and she was dying in a wheelchair, and we used to go over his house. His house is the party house. We used to always take mushrooms over there and shit because his mom's in a wheelchair, you know what I mean? It didn't matter, but I'd be upstairs the whole time, not hanging out with my friends downstairs. I'd be upstairs with her by her goddamn wheelchair the whole time, talking about angels and ascended masters, Pleiadians, and other galaxy beings, and knowing that this shit knowing that this shit was real, and I knew these beings were there healing her. I knew they were. I could feel their presence, and that made me know that I was a star child. I was from somewhere else. I knew that in my heart right there and then, man. I mean, since the day I was born, my parents lost their first child, and when they showed me the baby pictures of Gerard Matthew, I was like, isn't it weird, Mom and Dad, that I look identical to him? Identical weight, identical look, identical height. Everything's identical in our goddamn fucking baby book. What the fuck? No wonder they tried to take that shit from my parents. They said they weren't going to let them take pictures of their firstborn, but they allowed it. And he was only supposed to live for 24 hours, and he lived for 48. 3 years later, Triple Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, I was born, and I realized I had a calling here. I believed that I was Gerard Matthew, and I came back, that I might have saw the other side. I was meant to connect with people like my buddy's mother who had MS, who saw these Pleiadians. Now, she showed me a picture on her phone of these beings with tiaras on their head that I think Christianity misinterprets as angels, and they were beings from the other side, dude. They're from another dimension. It's as simple as that, and they healed her because the doctors couldn't do shit for her, and she was dying. like 400 pounds in a wheelchair when I was 14. Today, she's 62. She's healthier than I am, walking around, walking her dogs, out of the wheelchair. The only thing she got left from the MS is her colostomy bag. That's it. She got her long blonde hair, all grew back and everything, dude. She's like an angel. These Pleiadians with the tears that look like your angels, they will rub off on you if through meditation and through the right ways. If you find them, she paints these beings and everything. And I swear, all her paintings will be the Holy Grail one day, man. I promise you. I ain't lying here, man. This is real shit. And I'm talking, it's so real that the FBI and the CIA were involved in this house when I was a kid growing up. They did actually tap the wires in the house that I'm talking about where I was. I don't want to get too far into it, but Jason, her son, had something called the Melchizedek Spirit website on the internet in which he connected with the Dalai Lama himself, man. So I was there for that phone call.
Wait a minute, her name is, the kid's name is Jason. Do you know what his last name is?
DeCoste. He actually, I'm going to tell you something weird about him, Joe. He was a phenomenal hockey player. He was actually going to be Nova Scotia's next Sidney Crosby. Before Sidney Crosby became Sidney Crosby, he were obviously us being for Nova Scotia. He was that talented, and then just I don't know, dude. He's born of an abusive alcoholic father that Linda, the girl I'm talking about, left and married Jackie. Thank God, but. I'm telling you, dude, this I knew Jason had something in him from day one, and if you just look at the guy, you can see Pleiadians in him, man. The longer the hair, the Jesus look, the whole thing. I knew there was something there, and when he created the Melchizedek Spirit website, it got taken down by the FBI, dude. They tapped the wires and everything. I was in this house. I was there for it. This ain't a lie. This is why I'm so crazy, people. This is why I'm nuts, okay? I went through some shit, man, for real. And then I went to the military, and I went through my shit there. So... I mean, I'm getting a little talk about it, man.
I can tell just when you talk about it, bro. You believe everything you're saying.
I'm crying right now. That's why I got my eyes closed, because I actually am shedding tears, man. Like, this shit's real to me, man, for real. Like, so, I'm getting shaken up because I don't like to put this out there because it's pretty deep stuff, man. It's pretty, people wonder why I'm fucking psycho and go off the chains all the time,
Pretty deep.
Yeah, it's, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff out there, man. I mean, this world ain't as simplistic as you think it is by any means. It's not that easy.
Well, I'm with that, man.
It's funny. It's like both. Hang on.
Yeah.
I am also sitting on the toilet right now taking a massive shit, so.
Like it's both. It's like it's complex, but yet it's simplify the complexities, and then it becomes really easy to like. I sort of just compare it to us. Like what's happening with us here is very groundbreaking, and like it's very new. Yet we're just going back to an old way. So it's like we're simplifying things that we've made overcomplicated, and so the universe is doing the same thing. It's all like boiling, like it's all like simmering, and something new is birthing. Like yeah, me and my girlfriend have been talking about since January. Like there's been like a feeling of rebirth. And right now,
Jesse, you got to understand something. I see a lot of you and your mother. I see a lot of that. The guy I'm talking about, my best friend and his mom. When I look at you and your mom, I see a lot of that similarity in you guys, dude. You're almost the same fucking family, and I know you know what I'm talking about too.
Yeah, that's the mirror. Yeah.
Yep. I know you do. Just based on your videos with wind chimes, I know you know this.
Yeah, it's see, like I run into a lot of people that are like you described her, is like they get their information via other means. Like I get mine through myself and then through everybody else. Like I use people as my like learning tool.
Your stepping stone.
Well, no, it's more like it's a mutual like give and it's not a give and take, it's a give and receive.
Wow.
Like I learn from them and I teach, and then they teach and I learn, and that's how I get my stuff. Some other people get visions, some people get they have full on conversations with other beings, or just with me it's the same thing. It's like everyone does it differently, but like for me, like when I say it comes through me, that it's the same thing as if I said I was talking with a Pleiadian or something. It's like you're getting some inside, like you're just going back into source, into what we already kind of know, but we don't know we know. We have to like shed this, like you said earlier, Homo sapien, like look like that facade, basically. It's just a mask.
Yep,
There's more to this.
it's a spacesuit, bro.
And we can have fun with the spacesuit, actually, if we start learning that it's more than... Like, people look at us as a body with a soul. We're a soul with a body.
Yep.
We didn't start out as a body. That's just like a short... Like, to drive you from the airport to your location. That's all the body is. You're what's in the vehicle. You know? Like, where this is just a vehicle. So...
we're not the only ones that think that this is connected, by the way. This a lot of people making videos about this. Like solar observatories, 7 closed. Right as these objects appear at the sun, apparently, and we can't get information on them because of certain telescopes. So it is a little weird. It's definitely the connections being made already by other people, like right away. This person says, let's see what they say actually.
Spot, along with NMSU, did not give a reason for it. Local authorities say they were told last week it was closing temporarily for safety reasons, but don't know much more. People who live in nearby Cloudcroft are just as puzzled.
Nothing really happens up here very much, and since nobody knows, it could be almost anything.
There's currently a working telescope at the observatory where the university conducts research.
Research.
That's weird.
Research, yeah.
Joe, can you get my camera up right now, and can you guys read this? This is me talking to the people of Aura, New Mexico.
And I was able to
I see it.
something up, and I was able to see what was to the left.
Don't dox them.
I'm gonna turn it around.
Oh, shit.
I'm just kidding.
Left of this, and look, we've got more things right here. More
See, I have a
this,
problem with that picture.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
and more ships.
Like, I don't know if that tells us anything yet. What do you mean? Because it doesn't conclusive?
Yeah, that could be just a camera angle. It could be a reflection. It could be a few different things.
Yeah, I don't really see any proof there. I think what's more interesting is that circular stuff that we just saw, because that was on the 9th, and this was what, 4 days ago that this happened, or 5 days ago. So this almost it gets to be close to around that time. So,
Are you looking at this, Joe?
No, what do you got?
Okay, here's what I got. Here's what I say to these people. This observatory shut down, FBI involved. Something strange is going on. Something weird going on. Highest hydrogen concentration on Earth, okay? Aura, New Mexico, this place, has the highest hydrogen concentration on the Earth, okay? Which right away is a flag to me, just because. This guy comes back, he says, Scott, all of these solar observatories went offline at about the same time. I have a feeling that this story is just getting started. He shows the proof here. All 3 of these solar space cam webcams were all taken offline at the same time. Okay? All of them right there. All taken off at the same time.
Yeah,
okay?
we have confirmation that 7 came down. I know that 7 came down now. I'm looking at
7
all the different reports. That's weird.
I mean, I'm talking to these people. Just go to the Facebook page. They're all weighing in, man. Post office was closed due to flooding issues, like I told you, from what they understand. That wasn't released in the official statement. It was just the official statement said that there was criminal activity involved, that it was all about the Chinese, like spying on the White Range missile, whatever.
And before that, it was just maintenance, they said, and now it's about child porn. So it's what?
So see, the cover-ups are cover-ups in themselves.
Yeah, what if it's all just disinformation? What if it was really, Chinese spies? What if but they're just saying it was a child? I mean, that's the problem. Is like, where does the bullshit start? Where does it end? I mean, it's so hard to tell, man.
Because they're not going to tell us. There's 2 things they won't tell us about, like spy stuff like that. We can't know about that, and then also aliens or things like that. So it's really kind of flip a coin But I mean, I'm just going on the fact that we have some weird satellite image and some really weird telescope images, like those that weren't censored yet or in time almost, because it's almost like this stuff started happening and the next thing you know, those telescopes came down. Like if something is flying around the telescopes and they're seeing it and they're like, then they take it down. What's going on? Now here's the real question: are those telescopes back up? Those 7? I don't know if those 7 locations are back up yet, and I also don't know if they have a way of dummying it? You know, do they have a way to dummy it to like just play like falsified footage or repeat footage or something like that keeps everybody?
Oh, they do. They do it all the time in NASA's live space cam.
Yeah,
dude.
NASA's space station cam is always weird. That somebody proved it.
As soon as something's
back.
discovered, they shut it down and replay the beginning. Man, I've been a witness of this. I watch these live space cams that are broadcast on YouTube. They'll shut it down and replay it over again. And there I am fighting in the chat with everybody, going, "You guys realize this is a goddamn replay? Like,
Right.
What the fuck?"
Yeah.
That's really weird, man.
It could be, man. It could be, there could be spaceships. I'm not saying it couldn't. I mean, you guys heard about what happened with Saturn's rings. The former NASA chief, right? Former NASA chief said that, or he blew the cover. Said that there was actually, spaceships hiding in Saturn's rings, like farming in Saturn's rings.
Wait, who said that?
The former NASA chief.
Oh my God, dude, Jesus! Why would he say that?
Dr. Norman Berger, man. He said that there was actually spaceships in Saturn's ring, possibly farming, for mineral, for platinum, gold, whatever. That
Dude,
was last year or something.
I don't remember that, but what we do know too is like the weird stuff that the Air Force has released, and it's like, why in the world is the Air Force releasing actual video of these seemingly impossible trajectories and turns and angles of some kind of unidentifiable object that they're chasing, and now you've seen two of these videos from our government or whatever, the Air Force released two of these videos, and now that basically kind of corroborates all the stories from all the pilots who always say they're chasing something that just seems impossible. So like
they had to do it, Joe. They had no choice, because it was our former Canadian defense minister, Paul Hellyer, that was the first to talk about interdimensional species, 6 different races of extraterrestrials existing. This was our defense minister, Paul Hellyer, who started to talk about this worldwide. And all the other countries had no choice, because this guy said, "Fuck it, I'm going to tell everybody the truth." And he did that. JFK, I believe, was about to do that too, and then they assassinated him. But Paul Hellyer, he got it done, man. You don't know about Paul Hellyer, our Canadian defense Canadian defense minister?
Yeah, I know.
He's the first one that started talking about the Arcturians and the Greys and the Reptilians and the Pleiadians, and how many different races of ET that they knew were existing. He put this out to the public at a worldwide press conference with all the world leaders there. And then they all realized, well, since he did it, they took him out of office, obviously, but since he did it, we're going to have to address this someday. And now, all of a sudden, you're seeing it in America. But for some reason, the world always focuses on America as being that superpower. So it always matters more when it comes from the president of the United States, from the movies of Independence Day and all these alien movies that came out over history, and The Day the Earth Stood Still, and War of the Worlds. It's always on the eyes of America. But this shit has been ongoing for years, and every other world leader has been ready to talk about this. But the reason why America never is because I truly believe reptilians are involved in the American government. They have been for years, and they're the ones trying to keep this secret. The draconian reptilians, mind you. Not all reptilians are bad. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, it's like, like when Donald Trump got elected and everything, man, and he goes to that first meeting with Obama. And it happens to everybody, bro. And I don't know why presidents do this, but I called it, man. Right when I saw it, dude. That first time that Trump meets Obama, dude, and he's just got this weird fucking look on his face, dude. And he got the alien briefing, bro. That's what it was. 100%. He looked so uncomfortable and so weird, dude. I mean, and everybody all over Reddit, everybody was saying, dude, yeah, he got that alien briefing, dude.
They're talking about in Canada now here as a possibility of Barack Obama becoming our next prime minister. We think Justin Trudeau is bad. We get Barack Obama here, and she's the end of the fucking world, because now our defense minister now, I'm going to show you a picture of our
Wait a minute,
defense
Barack
minister
Obama
today.
could go to Canada to be the...
Yeah.
Yep. Want to know why, Joe? Because in Canada, you don't got to be born in Canada to be the prime minister. As long as you got a Canadian citizenship, you're allowed. Now, mind you, Barack Obama never even had a goddamn birth certificate to be the president of the United States in the first place.
Oh, God, here we go.
This is a long line of Illuminati shit and predictive programming. And I believe even some time travel, all these presidents were put in place for years, honestly. But if you look at Canada today, we're becoming like Europe. Look at our defense minister today. I can't even pronounce his name. Herjit Sajan, right? Muslim. That's our defense minister now. Muslim with a turban on his goddamn head. These are the people Trudeau's letting into the country. These are the ones that took over Europe, and they're going to take over Canada too. This is the bad thing, man. This is a whole new religion of Muslim that are going to do exactly what the Christian Crusaders did in Christian times. Slaughter people, put their goddamn forced belief on everybody, and try to take away what we know is true, which is the existence of extraterrestrials and the fact that we are spliced with them, and that is our real ancestors from the stars, not this goddamn religion.
I'm waiting for I'm waiting for China to start putting their people all over here, you know, because they could buy up everything over here.
Yeah, well, that's in the Bible too. It's in the Bible that the red race will take over the world for a day or something like that, along them lines.
I don't know why that's so messed up. It's true, but it's like, dude, the Bible's a weird thing because it's like a lot of the religion books are, because it's like,
I mean, I'm not a Bible goer, but there are some true things in the Bible. I know
why there's so many similar stories in these books from areas of people that did not come together yet. Like, it's so weird. And there's a story of this flood, and you know, the doomsday is very described as the same similar things. It's very weird. It's like, I mean, some people could say parallel thinking, but it's like, what, all the religions thought of the same thing on all these things? It's kind of whacked out. It's pretty wild.
It's kind of a coincidence, right? You know,
I mean, it's a hell of
everywhere. I mean,
it's a hell of a coincidence, like that they're all the same, sort of thing. And I forget what it derives from something else too, even before that. You know, I don't think it says that in the Bible, Nessa, but you know, I mean, like various things like that. But I haven't done enough.
I believe it says in the Bible that Joe Cronin's cock is big. I'm not sure.
Oh my God!
Don't quote me on that, but
it's enough to fill.
That's what I heard.
Well, dudes, I mean, anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out of here?
I mean, I could talk all night. Jesse looks like he's just talking to a chick in his cell phone all night.
Oh yeah, he probably is.
What lady?
Well, honestly, like a lot of the stuff you guys are talking about, I have no fucking idea about, but I can take it and roll with it on a spiritual level. But for me, there's no one answer. Like, everyone's looking for like one answer, and I just don't roll that way. I see like many answers in all the parallels. That's how I like to see shit. Because it's like everyone looks for one thing when there's all these other things going on. It's all like one big fucking entity. It's like veins inside of you. Is there one vein that's more important than the other? I mean, you could say, like, you could be a smartass and say, yeah, your arteries. Okay, fine. Then those are the planets. The rest of this shit is all just as important. Like, it's all working together. Even if it's colliding, even if it's destroying, it's creating at the end of the day.
Well, this brings a whole new meaning to retrograde now.
Well, those are fucking on fire, man.
So many things.
I mean, in closing, I will say this about the sunspot, that whole deal. I really, you know, I don't know what those images were in those photos. I have no idea. I will stand by what I said originally. I think it was some sort of security. Something happened as far as national security goes. We'll probably never know. I'm guessing something involving China, something like that. The porn thing, I don't know. It just, I mean, come on. You know, why would you evacuate everybody like that?
Maybe they hacked. They put porn on all the systems in all the observatories. I mean, I don't know.
Could be. But I'm going to go with that. I don't think it was. You know, if they closed down every single observatory, you know, then it'd be one thing. But there was observatories open, and people could still see the sun. And so I don't think it was anything, you know, Scottish in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Bring me into this, bro. Dear.
He's gonna start turning now. Yeah.
In closing, I will say this: every one of us have a little bit of reptilian in us, a little bit of Arcturian, a little bit of Palladian, a little bit of DNA from all over the stars, and you guys gotta start looking within to see the truth.
Oh my God, Scott just ate the mic. All right, well, you know what, guys? I got to get out of here. And thank you to Mars Mirror. Check out his YouTube channel, Mars Mirror on YouTube. Scott, he has a channel where he'll usually go live and make fun of me and say that he hates me and Kara and everybody. But go check out him, Reality Shift. And
the Shirt Stalker channel is where I go live and usually make fun of Kara and Joe and everything.
Shirt Stalker. And then Jesse, at Jesse JCS on Twitter, where you can get info from Jesse and talk to Jesse and things like that about all his stuff that he does. I almost said tetrahedron for some reason. That's weird. What the frick? They're talking
Joe,
to me, Scott.
Do you like pistachio ice cream, Joe? Do you like pistachio?
Oh my God, Merz, no!
Oh man, I used to. Until pistachios started giving me I might be allergic now to those or something. Isn't that weird?
It happens, man.
It stinks that it happens. It really does. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm gonna hang up. Thank you everybody for being here. Love you guys.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's been a time, Aaron.
Yeah, we'll do
Jesse,
it again.
Are you gonna get that hooker over or no?
Oh.
What the hell?
I think he took off. Goodbye, everybody.
From
Bye.
the furthest reaches of the universe to the innermost depths of the mind, this is Final Frontier News.